So unless you're going naked, first thing to remember is take your bathing suit in after the last time you use it. So you want to get a hot tub, preferably wood, cedar, right? But you're not sure if you want to go electric or wood burning. Well, I'm going to tell you what the differences are. We started out with a wood burning fireplace, or a wood burning stove inside the hot tub. We later switched to electric, as you can probably hear. Having done both systems, both the wood burning stove and the electric pump, I believe, if I remember correctly, both systems are about the same initial cost to get everything hooked up with the electric, to buy the pump, the heater, or to buy the wood burning stove that sits in the hot tub and everything that goes with it. I believe it was about the same cost. For operating costs though, the electric heat and the pump is obviously a bit more money month to month than buying wood and using wood. So if using electricity is more expensive month to month, why did we switch? Or why haven't we switched back to firewood? Well, convenience, time, energy, comfort, there's a few reasons. So having the wood-fired stove in this hot tub actually takes up, I'd say, a quarter to a third of the hot tub. So in this one we can easily fit 6 adults, no problem. When we had the wood stove in here, you could fit maybe 4 tight, 3 comfortably, 4 would be pushing it. So it gives us more space in the hot tub running the electric over the wood stove. So having a wood-fired stove in your hot tub means that you're gonna need wood accessible. That means lots of dry wood stacked up close to the hot tub or somewhere near it, so you can basically feed that stove as you get it started and get it heating up the water. Unfortunately, wood stoves put off a lot of smoke while you're starting it and while it's going. So with the wood stoves that go into most hot tubs, you feed them from the top, and there's a box down below where the fire burns, and above that box are some holes where the water goes through and circulates. So trying to get the fire started in kind of like a chimney situation is you're having to drop wood and tinder and stuff down into the box, stick your head over, try and find some way to get it lighted, and basically you're looking down into the box while there's smoke coming up while you get the wood started. So you're getting a lot of smoke in your face. Once it's going, the chimney, I want to say, goes up that high. Kind of like if you're looking at it from your perspective right now, it would go up that high from the hot tub, which means it's blowing around too. So if you get a day where the smoke's not rising quick and not going the right way, there'll be a lot of time where you're in the hot tub and you're getting smoke. There'll be a lot of smoke coming up from the box as well sometimes if the fire's not going well. So it's coming out of the box as well as the chimney. So it was one of those factors where, you know, it wasn't as fun to be in the hot tub when you're getting the smoke in your eyes and in your face until that fire gets going properly. Now, with the heat pump we have and the filter on it, it heats up the water and it comes up the other side, and there's a very gentle jet that kind of pushes the water in, and then it sucks it out from the bottom and recirculates it. We didn't want to go with the full-blown jets like a jacuzzi. We wanted to try and keep it as natural as possible, so ours circulates very slow. Now the problem with the wood stove is you have to be the circulation. You have to stir it. You have to mix it, because when that fire's going, the water on the top gets heated up and the bottom doesn't. So every time you start the stove and you're starting to heat the hot tub up, you have to circulate that water itself. Now, that's not too bad. It's not too much work. However, there were many times where we went to get into the hot tub thinking it was warm and it was too cold because we felt the top, we stirred it up. Well, we got in and the bottom was really cold. So we'd stir it up again and it was still too cold for us. Then there were other times where, we stir it up and the hot feels good. Oh, maybe it's a little too hot. Don't worry, the bottom will be cold. And I got in to stir it up and the entire water was too hot for me and I basically cooked myself and had to get back out right away. So the inconsistency in a wood burning stove was very hard for us to deal with on an ongoing basis compared to electric heat and the pump, where it's always the same temperature throughout the tub all the time. Now, one of the disadvantages that we've noticed of this style hot tub, the cedar hot tub, the wood hot tub, compared to a normal hot tub like a fiberglass one, is the insulation value around the hot tub. So most of the fiberglass hot tubs are insulated with foam insulation all the way around them to help keep them warm. These ones are not. So you lose a lot of that heat out the sides. What we've done is taken some wrap and wrap the bottom of the hot tub. What we eventually would like to do is probably do a foam spray around the bottom of the hot tub, or maybe even the entire hot tub, and then frame it in again so it keeps that wood look but has the insulation value so it doesn't cool off as much. So one of the things we really like about this hot tub is the water, the color. It actually leaches the color out from the cedar tub and keeps it dark, which we find is very cool rather than just having clear water. It's nice to sit in. It's kind of that feeling, the ambiance, that sort of thing. If you go naked, then, you feel a little more secure in the darker water, especially if you're putting on some weight. What we would like to do, though, is actually seal the inside with some sort of waterproofing, or like maybe just fiberglass or something like that, but something clear so we can still see the wood, but then it also holds the insulation value better. It holds the water in nicely, because this does leak a bit, but not much at all. And then we'd spray foam the outside, again trying to keep that wood color. But if we sealed up the inside, then we'd lose basically that dark water from leaching. Besides the bit higher cost in electricity from running the heat pump, what we've noticed is the only other real disadvantage for us is every so often when we lose power, it'll trip this breaker, and then you have to make sure you come back out and flip the breaker back on, hit the button on the pump so it starts heating and recirculating again. We've come out before, the power went out, we didn't notice, we came out to jump in the hot tub and it was like, I want to say it was like 60 degrees or something like that instead of the 102 that we keep it at. So that's just one of the other disadvantages that we found with the electric. So if you're looking for that kind of natural look without the jets and the bubbles and the back massagers and the lights and all that, I definitely suggest one of these cedar hot tubs. We really like it, really enjoy it. We spend a lot of time. It's good for muscle relaxation. It's also good for romance. It's also good for quality time. We do spend a lot of time out here just chatting with each other, making plans that we want to about the farm, future projects, that sort of thing. So it's really nice that way. So one of the last things I just thought of was when we had our stove in here, there was actually kind of a wood gate across it, the cedar gate across it. And when I talked about stirring up the hot water and mixing the hot water with the cold that was below, what didn't really happen was the water wouldn't really circulate around the back of the stove or underneath the stove. So a lot of the time what would happen is we'd actually get some algae buildup, leaves, pine needles, hair, that kind of stuff, that it would actually build up under the stove behind the fence because it wasn't being circulated. We didn't have a filter in. So in the wood-fired stove kind of hot tub, you got to make sure you kind of have to clean it every so often to keep away the algae, keep out the leaves and hair and pine needles and just that kind of stuff. So guys, I hope that kind of explains the difference we found between the wood-fired stove for the hot tub and the electric heat pump. Now, one of the benefits with the wood-fired stove is we could put it out in the back, way back, and we could run it if we had the wood stove going to it. We'd have to go out there a lot and keep it going non-stop so that the tub wouldn't freeze. I think it was about 3 days we could kind of go without fire, and it would stay warm enough to kind of keep it from freezing for about 3 days. But we'd have to go back there every 3 days to heat it up. If we did have it out the back, that would be the benefit, is that the wood stove you could have anywhere. So again, I hope this helps explain it to you guys. If you have any questions, please let us know down in the comments and we'll be sure to answer them. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Love ya.